Hey guys, today we have Vinay Kumar and he's having 3.5 year of experience in Java, Spring Boot and microservices. And those who want to give same free mock interview, please fill out the form below in the description. So now let's get started. Hey, hello Vinay, how are you?
Hi, sir. Fine. Thank you.
Okay,
Uh,
okay. Shall we start?
yes, sir. Sir. Fine.
Okay. So Vinay, can you please introduce yourself and your recent project?
Yeah, myself, Vinay Kumar, BC,
Mm-hmm.
working as a software engineer since from 3.5 years at Morphine
Okay,
Private Limited. Basically, we are working on the banking domain projects where
okay.
the mobile banking, internet banking, and corporate banking will be there.
Mm-hmm.
So our clients are basically from the European countries. Almost 60 plus bank around the European
Mm-hmm.
countries we are supporting with
Okay.
mobile banking, internet banking, and corporate banking. So backend technologies we are using Java, uh,
Mm-hmm.
Spring Boot, and recently
Okay,
we are
okay.
migrating
So what's the
to
Java Spring Boot version?
Spring Boot versions. We are using 3.x. Java above 1.8 we are using one.
1.8.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. So what's a challenging thing you have done in your project in past?
Yeah, challenging things is to like after 1.5 2 years, we are
Hmm.
trying to migrating the project from monolithic to microservices.
Okay.
There we
So
are
what challenges you have faced?
yeah, because the entire project should be converted into small
Hmm.
microservices,
Hmm.
and that time we faced some configuration related issues like the database, what we
Uh-huh.
have to configure with different services. There we are faced
Okay.
the issues.
Okay. Okay.
That
So in every case, microservices is better than monolithic architecture.
No, in every cases is not better what I supposed to identify.
Okay. Okay.
Uh,
Okay.
yeah, microservices will be better when
Hmm.
what I supposed to say the applications will be vast. For example, only small applications, so we
So
should go for
microservices is not a good option.
yeah. This is not a good option. So what I've been observed.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Nice. Nice. Okay. So how microservices communicate with each other?
Yeah, actually, the microservices what we have is like a REST API only.
Mm-hmm.
So if they want to communicate it with each other, first they have to register to the R&D server.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, research and deployment server. What I
Mm-hmm.
supposed to use Eureka Netflix server.
Eureka, Netflix
Yeah,
server
yeah,
and rest of it.
yeah. Then
Okay.
they can able to communicate it through REST template. Either actually for load balancing, while communicating each other, we should use a Fin client now.
Mm-hmm.
Through that, there will be a proxy server. It will be there. I mean, automatically it will be
Mm-hmm.
generate the REST template. So while they're
Okay, okay.
communicating each other, it will be communicates. That is one thing.
Okay,
Separate.
okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
that will be perform the load balancing as well.
Mm-hmm. So
Yeah.
what is polymorphism in Java and how can we achieve polymorphism in our project?
Yeah, the polymorphism is very important concept in the Java.
Mm-hmm.
So actually, means in different way we can able to perform our applications. Like in polymorphism, there'll be two types will be there. There'll
Uh-huh.
be runtime polymorphism and
Okay.
there'll be compilative
Mm-hmm.
polymorphism. So if I come to the runtime polymorphism, that is like I mean, what do you want to call it, method overriding. So like
Mm-hmm.
when in inheritance concept will become into the picture, whatever the parent class having a the methods. If you want to use it in the child class, like
Mm-hmm.
we need to override that methods. So on that time, you should go for this method. Sorry, runtime polymorphism.
Mm-hmm.
Compile
Okay.
time. Compile time is my method overloading.
Mm-hmm.
So that since there will be same method name with a
Mm-hmm.
different signature and a parameter, we shall have to be use it to perform that method overloading.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So, Vinay, before moving ahead, I would like to share one important thing with you. Actually, we had
Yes.
launched complete interview preparation material, structure step by step, by myself, expert, MNC's interviewers. And the best part is that now no one need to go anywhere else to prepare interviews. There's a 99% chance that interviewers will ask questions from this material. So basically, it contains a lot of material categorized by experience level. Means each experience level has different material with all possible interview question and answers for Java, Spring Framework, Maven, Git, Spring Boot, Spring Security, Spring Data JPA, Kafka microservices, Java coding questions, stream API coding questions, and many more. I have provided the link to get this in the below description. If someone needs this material plus 2 real client enterprise projects for reference, plus one-on-one lifetime doubt sessions and referrals to the big MNCs, then they should check the interview preparation kit. I will provide the link for this as well in the description below. So now moving to our interview. So Vinay, have you used Lambda expressions?
Yeah.
So what are the
Yes.
benefits of using Lambda expressions?
Yeah, actually, the Lambda expressions, what I
Mhm.
supposed to say, to invoke the functional interface, we should go for the Lambda expressions. The
Okay.
mainly the code reducing things what have been observed. Like in order to call a method, we have to be
Mhm.
write a method name and the signature, and again we
Mhm.
should enter into the body how to be write the return things.
Mhm.
Those things we have to be write it in normal or invoking the methods. But if I
Mhm.
use the functional interface, we can able to without is anonymous functions.
Mhm.
Without mentioning that method name and all those things. So
Mhm.
just with arrow mark and with symbol. So we should use this lambda expression to invoking the function interfaces. That will be the one things what I've
Mhm.
been observed.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Uh, can you tell me what you have used in Lambda expressions?
Yeah, in the lambda expressions, for example, if you in our project,
Mm-hmm.
so like there'll be a there'll be a list of services will be there. What you
Mm-hmm.
have to, for example, there'll be a fund transfer service. Like
Mm-hmm.
just for the drop down, we need to pass that things value. So just you have stored that values in the database. You have to be iterate that through the for each. At that time, you have to be use these lambda expressions to
Mm-hmm.
fetch that data. Through that, amending the data to the particular key, what have to be sent to the app team that we have
Okay.
used. There I used. I remember right now. That things.
Okay. Okay. It's fine. What's the difference between array list and linked list?
Yeah, the array list and linked list, both are is a implementation class for the list
Mm-hmm.
interface.
Okay.
The array list, it will be follows the indexing things. I
Mm-hmm.
mean, where the frequent access we supposed to be say where read operations would be more preferable. We should go for the array list.
Mm-hmm.
So the linked list is in a sense where the insertion and the deletions
Mm-hmm.
frequency need to be used. You should go for the linked list.
Okay.
So that means where insertion and deletions will be a make preferable. You should go for the linked list where
Mm-hmm.
frequently random only we can read the data from the any collection of objects. You should go for
Mm-hmm.
the array list.
Array
This is
list.
the difference.
Okay.
Yes.
How does synchronized work in Java?
Sorry, sir.
Synchronized work in Java. How does synchronized work in Java?
Synchronized keyword you're
Yes.
at.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah, synchronized where you need to be use the synchronization means, for example, in multi-threading operations,
Mm-hmm.
there'll be two methods. So there'll be make any conflict. So on that
Mm-hmm.
time we have to make sure that thread one should be complete that one method. So and it should be come back to the next method to be executed. On that time we can make one method as it synchronized, and since the thread should be until complete that should not. Another thread should be take that things. So there we have to be use the synchronized keyword
Mm-hmm.
to make sure that the operation should be completed. Then it should be more for the next thread should be take the next day. Execution to be conduct. I think that the things.
Okay. Okay. So how does volatile improve thread safety?
The volatile.
So what is first tell me what is volatile and how does volatile
Yeah.
improve thread safety?
Yeah, actually, the volatile, what I've been observed, whenever there will be the changes in the
Mm-hmm.
variables or the
Mm-hmm.
values, that will be changed in the main memory itself. I mean, the heap memory, what I supposed to be saying. So directly when the thread will be performing, we are using, and that will take read the data from the main memory itself. So on that time there is not read from the local thread cache. So due to this, the thread can avoid this. Use this local data cache. Whatever the changes will be happened in the variable in the middle, that will be read directly from the main memory, so that the thread can able to utilize it for the further operations. No mismatch of the data, or the expected result what you're gonna get, it will be 100%. So that I need to be say
Yes, yes.
with volatile keyword. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. So what happens if you don't close a stream in Java?
Stream.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, you're talking about Java 8 AP, Stream AP.
Anything like connection.
Yeah, yeah. See, if the connection, if not closed the properly, there will be a chance of the memory leakage will be
Memory
happening.
leakage,
Yeah.
resource leakage.
Yes, the resource leakage will be happen.
Mm.
So, in order to avoid for that, we should use try with the resources, the concepts we can able to
Mm.
use that. So that may avoid that memory leakage in the Java. So the
Yes,
unused
yes.
yes, yes, that things will be happen.
Correct. So how do you detect and prevent memory leaks?
Yeah, the memory leaks we can able to detect is like we should identify it.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, there will be unused object will be there or not. Like how we can detect that memory. Mm,
Like we can use profiling tools like Visualize VMJ profile. We can close resource properly as we discussed in
yeah, yeah, yeah.
earlier question.
Right.
We can
Yes, yes.
use weak references when necessary.
Yes, 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 correct, correct. Yeah,
Okay.
I recalling that is yeah.
Yeah,
We
yeah.
should use the yeah we are using the weak references. That
Mm-hmm.
is one thing, and also
Mm-hmm.
what you have mentioned in the previously, we should
Mm-hmm.
use that profiling also, like profiles in a sense, like is a dev or a prod that things that profile.
Mm-hmm.
Another profiles you were mentioning that I need to recall that. Sir, I'll go through it.
Yeah, yeah. Visual VMJ profiler. Okay.
Okay.
Can you explain the role of completable future? Completable future.
Completable feature in the sense of like not get.
Like, have you worked on async process, async operations?
No, sir. I think no,
Okay.
sir.
Have you
Yeah,
used async annotation?
I think no.
Okay. So basically, there are two things, synchronous and asynchronous. So asynchronous makes our Spring Boot faster, and we can use asynchronous operation. So there is a term completable future. So it provides async execution with chaining, and it allows non-blocking operations. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. So have you implemented producer consumer problem?
Producer consumer problem. Yeah, there'll be a cascaded failures will may happen.
Mm-hmm.
Like we have been used the circuit breaker concept. So, but with resilience 4J as a
Mm-hmm.
what do you call it? The Maven dependency have been used to
Mm-hmm.
avoid that cascading failure of the microservices produce. There will be two microservices will be there. One is producer and the consumer.
Mm-hmm.
So sometimes the producer is not available. Sometimes
Mm-hmm.
the
Mm-hmm.
consumer will be should be there'll be three states which should be maintained. It what been one is the closer state means keep on it is getting the data from the uh, producer. So the
Mm-hmm.
normal operations if the producer is not there sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
So we have to keep it on threshold point. So you keep on calling that in five times more than cross admins. Again, it will be go to the uh, off open state. Means again
Mm-hmm.
timer we're gonna set. If
Mm-hmm.
timer passes again, we're gonna try. I mean, so due to that, the cascading failure of the microservices will be avoided. Means after sometimes again we need to be retried. We just keep on retrying. We have to send one message like this produce. I mean, this microservices is not available. So
Mm-hmm.
like that, we may face this issue.
Okay.
Yeah.
So let's say you need to design a real-time stock market feed processor. How would you do it?
Real market
Yeah,
speed.
real market markets predictor or feed processor or anything.
Yeah, through the Spring Boot you're talking, right? Spring Boot.
Yes, yes, yes.
Real time. First we should go for the control. So where exactly
No, no, I
prediction?
mean, I just want to know what tools you would use, like Kafka for event streaming.
That
You could
Kafka,
use WebSockets for real-time updates.
that Kafka we are not using right now in our project.
Okay.
I don't have idea about that Kafka.
Mm-hmm.
So basically, you are doing that synchronous communications only. I hope so.
Mm-hmm.
Kafka, that will be there, part of the message brokers, and I mean asynchronous communications, the
Mm-hmm.
microservices. That
Okay, it's fine. So how do you ensure high availability in a distributed Java application?
high availability.
Yes, yes.
Distributed Java application. Like sir, this question actually, what are you trying to ask? High
Okay, so have
availability.
you worked with distributed Java application?
Yeah, distributed applications. We are
Like
working.
availability means your application should be available.
Okay.
Like we can use load balancers, we can
Yeah.
use
Yeah.
deploy multiple nodes.
Correct. Yeah, that one we are using load balancer. We are using when
Mm-hmm.
two microservices or more than two microservices will be communicating each other. The
Mm-hmm.
load balancing concept you've been using in the API. I mean, gateway itself. The
Mm-hmm.
load balancing routing time only we can able to identify it, which microservices having a less load balancing
Mm-hmm.
through that IP address. I mean, the service ID of that, it may connect that microservices and get that things. So
Yes, yes.
yeah, we can able to use that distributed application. So
Mm-hmm.
concept over here.
So, as we recently discussed about soft references, like it can prevent memory leaks. So, what is a soft reference and wo-
Soft
explain this?
soft reference. So mm, mm, right now I'm recalling
Okay,
soft
so
reference.
basically, it allows objects to be garbage collected only when memory is low.
Okay, got it.
It is used in caching also. Okay.
Okay, 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 okay.
Okay, so moving ahead, have you worked? Do you know about class loading?
Yeah, the class loading I know.
Yeah, yeah.
Like the class loader, it is very play very important role uh, when in trying to executing any application.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So we try to load our class because we have to be write any application through in class
Mm-hmm.
through the JVM Java version. Actually, this should be happen during only the runtime. So
Mm-hmm.
runtime environment, we keep on loading the classes to the JVM. So here, actually, in class loading, there will be a three categories will be there. Like
Mm-hmm.
there will be a first parent class loading. It is a extension,
Mm-hmm.
uh, and followed by the applications and one more I
Mm-hmm.
forgotten. First one, extension.
Bootstrap,
Yes, yes,
extension,
exactly. Yes, yes, the Bootstrap is the
application, class loader.
correct, sir. Bootstrap is the parent one, followed by the extension
Mm-hmm.
and the
Mm-hmm.
application. Bootstrap is totally it will be load the classes from Java Home
Mm-hmm.
libraries. Yeah, and extension will be load from there will be an extension I mean, folder
Mm-hmm.
so that we can able to load the class files. And
Okay.
application is our SRC level.
Mm-hmm.
You can load to the JVM. You can perform the operations during runtime.
Mm.
Yeah,
Okay. Okay, so how would you handle millions of requests per second in a Java application?
millions of requests
Per second.
per second.
Yes.
We are receiving millions of requests per second. The answer. This one, like, uh, is receiving the request, millions of requests. This one, I'm not recalling that.
Okay, okay. It's fine. So we can use load balancing, we can implement caching, we can use async processing with messaging queue. Okay.
Okay,
There are
okay,
different ways.
okay.
Okay. So what have you worked with Spring Boot dev tools?
Yes, yes, sir.
So what is this and how it helps developers?
Yeah, actually, Spring Boot dev tools,
Mm-hmm.
like for example, you're working on any applications.
Mm-hmm.
Once you add that dependency
Mm-hmm.
in the pom.xml
Mm-hmm.
while you're generating the project, so when you are saving any that data, I
Mm-hmm.
mean, in our code level, in
Mm-hmm.
our application level, not necessary to restart our embedded server. What is the
Mm-hmm.
Spring Boot? Automatically, it will be pick that changes and it can process it and give the result. the dev tools. So, but if you want to change in the pom.xml, we need to restart the application. Only the encoding level, if you are change it, you can save it, it will be detect and it will be perform the dev tools. In the pom.xml, for example, if you added any the further different dependencies to
Mm-hmm.
that pom.xml, and that time we make sure that the dev tool should be not take the changes. We should restart the applications to take the changes to our applications for the dependency been added.
Okay.
Yes.
What's the difference between REST controller advice and controller advice?
Yeah, controller advice and REST controller advice. So mainly we should use for the handling the exceptions.
Mm-hmm.
So, for example, if any exceptions will be occur in our applications, so
Mm-hmm.
we should handle it globally. We should go for the controller advice, and it in method level, you should use the exception handler. The
Mm-hmm.
controller advice mainly used for the Spring Spring misses. But for if we come to the REST, I mean Spring Boot application, should go for the REST controller advice in top of the class. So we
Mm-hmm.
should annotate it with the REST controller advice for the REST applications.
Okay.
Yeah, exceptions handling. For the MECs kind of things, we should go for the controller advice.
Okay.
Yeah.
So how does Spring Boot support caching?
Spring Boot support, yeah, there'll be a, the annotations will be there, caching and cacheable, cache in and
Cacheable, cache
yeah,
put, cache
cache,
evict,
yeah, cache bit. Through these annotations, we can perform the cacheable mechanism.
caching. So
So
what's
yeah,
the benefit of caching?
yeah, caching means, for example, if application interacting, keep on interacting the database, there will be a because of, I mean, speed of the applications will be reduced. For every, for example, for username and for example, our application we need to log in. So every time you should enter the username and password. So again, you have to use the database to take that and. Instead of that, between that application and the database, we can enable a caching mechanism. Frequently accessing the database, that will be not good practice. So we can able to use the caching mechanism. We can take that data from there. So it will
Mm-hmm.
speed up the applications level also through this
Okay.
automation. Yeah.
Okay. What are Spring Boot profiles and how do they work?
Spring Boot profiles, yeah, I think in Spring Boot profiles will play a very important role when the applications we need to be performed. So in the dev environment or in the UAT
Then
environment,
environment, prod
in the
environment.
yeah, prod environment.
Mm-hmm.
So in
So
pom.xml, if
what
you
all environments you are using in your current project?
yeah, we are using the development environment and followed
Mm-hmm.
by the UAT where you're supposed to be released to the client. They're supposed to test it and give the feedback. And QA
Okay.
environment also using, you're releasing that to our QA team. Or, I mean,
Mm-hmm.
the internal team. They can use that profiling and they can perform their internal operation with actuators, all those things. And
Okay.
in production, there will be separate four environment you are using right now. Two
Mm-hmm.
for us, one for the client, and one for the production one. So
Okay.
again, in form.xml spring.active,
Mm-hmm.
profile.active equal to which one we need to go.
Mm-hmm.
And that profiles is the annotation we need to be used in our class level, which
Mm-hmm.
yeah, it may be developer or UAT that we need to be mentioned through the annotations.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So how would you monitor and trace a Spring Boot application?
Yeah, actually, to monitor the Spring Boot applications and tracing, for monitoring mainly, uh,
Mm-hmm.
they're using the TLK, Elastic,
Mm-hmm.
Elastic Slash, and Kibana we are using. Mainly, the Elastic is nothing but what through the log4j we are storing some
Mm-hmm.
logs in the some folder. So
Mm-hmm.
to pipelining that logs through that Elastic. Sorry, what are the log slash is there, right? I mean,
Mm-hmm.
you can lag slash. We can take that the logs
Mm-hmm.
again. In processing should happen in Elasticsearch, and Kibana is there like monitoring tool. What exactly, what is the request will become, what is the metrics, and all those things. In addition to that, even we can use that actuators also. So
Mm-hmm.
actuator slash info, so we can check that what is the description of the project, all those things, and metrics means what are the URLs. I mean,
Mm.
what are the requests you are received, that things, and health check also we can able to whether up or down. So like that, we can. I mean, this is mainly our QA team will be used to check what the application. Even as a developer, we also can able to see that things.
Mm.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, so how does Spring Boot handle scheduled tasks?
Yeah. Spring Boot
Have you used scheduled annotation?
schedule actually in batch processing, Spring Boot batch will be there. So like for example, in our application there will be bulk payments will be there. Like
Mm-hmm.
uh, bulk payment is one applications will be there. Like we have schedule. I mean three schedule. I mean sorry, three threads we are using. For
Mm-hmm.
example, at a time it can able to take some batch of the data. For example,
Mm-hmm.
one thread can able to take three data. I mean three file. I mean three files in the database. I mean three file means three threads will be there. Nine files it will be take. And the time
Mm-hmm.
after that again it will be take that. And the time you can use for this time it should be pick, should be sent like that. We mean used that scheduling concept. Yeah, scheduler
Mm.
like that. Yeah, for the bulk payment.
What's the difference between blocking and non-blocking input output in Spring Boot?
Blocking and non-blocking input.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, this one no sir. I need
Okay.
to.
So blocking we use traditional servlet processing Tomcat, and for non-blocking we uses reactive streams like Webflex and Netty. Have you heard about Webflex and Netty?
Yeah. I heard that Webflex and Netty, but I should recall it. Yeah.
Yeah, it's fine. So how does Spring Boot integrate with NoSQL database like MongoDB?
Yeah. Yeah. Actually, right now we are not using the MongoDB because as you agree, the microservices
So which
in
database you are using?
MySQL you are using.
So
But
how can
I
we
know
convert? Yeah. Go ahead.
but I know how to integrate this MongoDB.
Mm-hmm.
So, for example, there will be a dependencies, MongoDB related dependencies. We
Mm-hmm.
should add it to the form dot the XMLs,
Mm-hmm.
form dot XML file. We should add the dependency related. For example, what is the URL and username and password for that MongoDB.
Mm-hmm.
That things we need to be added, and so application dot properties also we should add. I mean username, password, that things, and related dependency should add in the form.xml. So, and also in microservices again, we are using the config server,
Mm-hmm.
where you're supposed to be maintain the configurations related things in GitHub. So from there also we can able to take it in dynamically instead of changing that in the application dot properties level, based on the microservices level. For example, on two microservices using NoSQL, other one, and then better we can able to use it from there. So
Mm-hmm.
so that will be better things because but here we are not using that. So right now we are using the MySQL and Oracle. I mean SQL databases only, relational databases.
Okay.
Yeah.
So how does Spring Boot integrate with the? Have you worked with GraphQL?
No, no, sir.
No. So have you handled large file uploads in Spring Boot?
Yeah, no, actually, right now, what we are supporting that large file is not there. Maximum, I think, 10 MB. That means large file we are not supporting.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Moving ahead. What's the difference between eager and lazy loading in JPA?
Yeah, eager and lazy loading. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
see, eager means, for example, eager loading. In a sense,
Mm-hmm.
for example, once you are log into the, for example, once you start the application, eager loading means uh, before contact to the database itself, we can able to. Before the connections will be happen. For example, application want to access something from the database, so the eager loading means what? Before connecting the database, the password and related URLs and everything will be loaded.
Mm-hmm.
So that will be very faster. Sometimes actually that will be cause an memory usage more also. Uh, eager loading means what? When at the time of applications, you should contact that, and it will be taken to do the process. So that will be better, but it will be causes some delay because
Mm-hmm.
while loading the class time, you should be contact the database and take the required things. So some
Mm-hmm.
configuration time will be more. So both are eager loading is best.
Okay. Okay.
If I
Got it.
think, yeah.
Got it. Have you worked with Git?
Yes, sir. Yes.
What's the difference between git pull and git fetch?
Yeah, Git full in a sense. So whatever the changes will be merged to the remote repository.
Mm-hmm.
So that will be fetched directly to that. So the fetch in a sense, what that will fetch from our local repository. I mean,
Okay.
so full
It
means what?
retrieves the changes
Yeah,
fetched.
fetch will be retrieves the changes in the locally,
Hmm.
where remotely is merged. Na, that will be not be come to us.
Okay. So how do
So
you rebase a feature branch onto the main branch?
rebase a feature branch to the main
Mm-hmm.
branch. Yeah, uh, yeah. There will be a command will be there. Git rebase something because there will be a different developers who are performing a different features branches we are working
Mm-hmm.
on. So we need to rebrace it to the remote repository.
Mm-hmm.
So means whatever the chart history there previously, that should be completely will be removed. Then
Mm-hmm.
we can merge to the remote repository. Then we
Mm-hmm.
should take it from there. That like that may it work.
Sure.
Yeah.
Okay. Mm. You mistakenly committed sensitive data. How would you permanently remove it from your commit?
Permanently remote. Is it, yeah. Need to recall it, sir. How we need to remove it? Yeah.
You have to remove your commit. First thing is you can revert the changes.
Hmm.
Second thing is you can do some index filter, cache, something like that. So through which you can delete.
Yeah. Actually, for that, Git all those things. Just actually what we are doing over here. Just
Mm-hmm.
you're pulling the data and pushing the data doing and the cloning part and everything there will be DevOps team will be there
Mm-hmm.
but I have an idea about it, but DevOps team will be taking care of it for
Okay,
cloning
okay.
the project
Got it.
over the workspace and all those
Got it.
things, but I should go through it, sir, what you are
Mhm.
told.
Okay. So yes, Vinay, it's done from my end, and